Winston Churchill was a man of many talents and accomplishments. He served as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom twice, led his country through World War II, and was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. He was also a prolific writer, producing numerous books and articles throughout his life. In addition to his political and literary achievements, Churchill was also an accomplished artist, painting over 500 works during his lifetime. However, despite his many accomplishments, Churchill was also known for his heavy drinking. His love of alcohol and his drinking habits have become the stuff of legend and have been the subject of much discussion and debate over the years. In this video, we will take a closer look at Churchill's drinking habits and explore the role that alcohol played in his life and career. Churchill was known to drink heavily, often starting his day with a whiskey and soda. He would then move on to champagne, wine and brandy throughout the day and evening. It's been reported that he would drink up to 2 bottles of champagne a day and 1 of brandy. He was also known to enjoy scotch and would often drink it straight. But Churchill's drinking habits were not just limited to alcohol. He was also known to drink a lot of coffee and tea, often consuming several cups of each throughout the day. Despite his heavy drinking, Churchill was able to maintain his political career and accomplish many great things. It's been reported that he was often able to work late into the night, fueled by alcohol and caffeine. It's important to note, however, that Churchill's drinking habits did have some negative consequences. He was known to become belligerent and argumentative when he was drunk, and some of his decisions while under the influence have been criticized. Overall, Churchill's drinking habits were a significant part of his life and have become a part of his legend. Churchill's drinking habits were particularly notable during World War II. He would often drink heavily during meetings and conferences and was known to have a whiskey and soda at breakfast, a glass of champagne at lunch and a brandy before dinner. But Churchill's drinking during the war was not just a matter of personal preference. In fact, it was a strategic decision. Churchill believed that drinking helped him deal with the stress of the war and that it gave him the courage and confidence he needed to lead. Churchill once famously said, "I have taken more out of alcohol than alcohol has taken out of me." This statement reflects his belief that alcohol was a necessary part of his life and that it helped him accomplish great things. A curiosity: during the period of Prohibition in the United States, Winston Churchill secured a medical prescription that permitted him to consume alcohol during his visits to the country. This unique arrangement underscores the exceptional allowances made for Churchill, reflecting both his personal affinity for alcoholic beverages as well as the distinctive diplomatic relations of the time. While some may criticize Churchill's drinking habits, it's clear that they were an important part of his life and career, and that they helped him navigate some of the most challenging times in modern history. Churchill was a big fan of champagne and would frequently enjoy it throughout the day. His preferred brand was Pol Roger, which he drank consistently throughout his life. His passion for champagne was so strong that he once famously said, "In victory deserve it, in defeat need it." He was known to give bottles of Pol Roger as gifts to friends and colleagues, and he even had a special relationship with the owner of the company. He was also a big fan of brandy and would often drink it before dinner. His favorite brand was Hine, which he reportedly once described as the only good brandy in the world. Churchill's morning routine often included a whiskey and soda, which he believed helped him start his day off right, and after dinner he would often enjoy a glass of cognac, with Remy Martin being his preferred brand. Overall, Churchill had a wide range of favorite drinks and was known to enjoy a variety of different types of alcohol. His love for alcohol was not just limited to the taste, but also the social aspect of drinking. He believed that sharing a drink with someone was a way to build relationships and connect with others. Churchill's drinking habits were a significant part of his life and have become a part of his legend. Today, Churchill's drinking habits would be considered excessive and unhealthy. In fact, it's likely that he would be diagnosed with alcoholism if he were alive today. But it's important to remember that Churchill lived in a different time, when heavy drinking was much more socially acceptable. It's also worth noting that Churchill accomplished many great things in spite of his drinking, and that he was able to maintain his political career and lead his country during one of its most difficult times. While it's not advisable to follow Churchill's example when it comes to drinking, it's worth acknowledging his accomplishments and the role that alcohol played in his life. Churchill's drinking habits have become legendary, and for good reason. He was known to drink heavily, often consuming several different types of alcohol throughout the day. While his drinking habits had some negative consequences, they were also an important part of his life and career. Churchill's drinking habits would not be considered healthy today, but it's important to remember that he lived in a different time, when heavy drinking was much more socially acceptable. It's also worth acknowledging his accomplishments and the role that alcohol played in his life. Overall, Churchill's drinking habits are just one part of his complex and fascinating story. Whether you love him or hate him, there's no denying that he was one of the most important figures of the 20th century, and that his legacy lives on today. Thanks for watching. Be outside the box.